Hey, this is Jack Roberts. I want to thank you for purchasing my book and spending time and watching this little PowerPoint I put together just give you some extra ideas and tips on how I did my research for this book. This book is going to give you absolute proof of how our government lies to the American public and how our media, that we count on, knowingly spread these lies. This book proves this fact, and it tells us what we need to do, and what we have to do to fix our country. So, a little bit about me. My favorite Bible verse is Galatians 6:10. While we have opportunity, let us do good for all people, especially those in the household of the faith. I love helping. I loved coaching. I loved um, um, coaching kids, coaching businesses. I love helping people succeed. That's what I get off on. Um, so that's who I am. That's my personality. My three favorite sports. To know a little bit about me are women's volleyball, men's volleyball, and then beach volleyball. My plans for the future. Well, basically, I want to do this. I want to get involved with, continue with volleyball. The thing on the left, these are like flags and whistles that my associate gives out to people when he's refereeing, and we're going to promote with the money that we make from this book. We want to sponsor a team next year, so we want to be able to help some kids who can't afford to play in a club team go to one of these big events and play in a club team and succeed by working hard, and that's what we like to prove. And then, most importantly, here, youth. I want to help youth, and I also want to help small businesses. And I believe restaurants are the lifeblood of our society. So my goal through Jack Roberts Coaching, I'm only working with restaurant owners, and I'm only working with 144 of them at this time, because what we do, we have groups of 12, and these are our little masterminds of restaurant owners. And these restaurant owners get to know each other, and they thrive to help each other's restaurants become successful. They talk about ideas to help them all become more successful. I meet with them all individually. We meet once a week, and I take notes on all of the meetings, and we share them with all 144 members of this mega mastermind marketing group for restaurants. That's what I'm working on, and that's what my goal are. Now, my biggest goal is through this is I need and I want to help make this world a better place for our future generations, and to share my faith just with my actions. Okay, that's what I want to go. I don't want, I'm not into sharing things just to cause problems. I don't care about becoming famous. As a matter of fact, you'll see me cover my face a lot because, one, I've had threats against me, and I don't want to interrupt the lives of the people I'm dealing with by being a famous person. Excuse me. I voted for both Democrats, Republicans, and independents. I'm not promoting any type of violence, including to myself, and everything I'm about to share with you is verifiable and true. I've challenged, and I will continue to challenge, any media personnel to prove me wrong. All of them are cowards. Not one media personnel has been able to deny any of these facts. Remember, I'm just the messenger. The liars are the people that we elect and listen to. So let's get into this. Chapter one, what we're talking about is unraveling the government medias and lies, and how I came about this. Well, I was involved with a divorce, and I saw things that were wrong go on, and I made complaints about them to government agencies. I saw things that were illegal, unconstitutional, and dangerous, and endangering the welfare of innocent children in the uh, um, family courts. And I contacted the authorities. The next thing you know, they arrested me, made up lies about me, and I spent 42 days in a jail. Okay. Um, so I knew something was wrong. And then when COVID hit, I'll explain that in a later chapter. I was nervous like everybody because I was in the industry. And I found out that this is where it all came about. Okay. So this book, the purpose of this book is to educate people and to explain that we need to act now to change our country for the better. Or we're almost at the tipping point where our country is going to be owned by another country, and our democracy, our republic, will cease to exist. So my target audience is if somehow we can get together with the open-minded Republicans, independents, libertarians, and Democrats, the open-minded ones of those the people, because we've got to do some things that may not be right for us. with our not right for us. It's they may not coincide with our political beliefs. Like there are people who will just only vote Democrat no matter what. They've never voted for Republican in their life. They vote Democrat all the way. That this book is not for you. Okay, same thing on the other end. You have to be open minded to understand this book. Okay, so let's get right into this. Now, chapter two was the media conspiracy. Um, in the media conspiracy, we're going to talk about manufacturing consent and all the different propaganda techniques they have, and then there's selective reporting, the bias, and alternative media. Let's go right into that, and let's go into some of the websites that I want to share with you. Okay, let's go right from the big. Oh, let's go back here at the beginning. This is a website from Business Insider talking about the media. Six corporations control 90% of the media. And you can see that do research over and over again. Here's again how who owns the most media outlets. Okay, and this just goes back to the world that there's just a few people controlling what the world gets to hear and see regarding the media. And this is a cute little video I'm going to share with you real quick if we could get this to play. Basically, it's the media saying the same thing over and over again. Let's just see if we could rewind this a little bit and see if this works.
Sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets.
Do you guys understand what just happened there? All these different news stations, okay, all of them said the same thing over and over and over and over again. For example, you'll hear things like on the news, they say this over and over again. There's no evidence of any widespread voter fraud, but yeah, there is. Okay, there's a lot to go on with our government that they're not telling us. Um, so let's go back into that again, okay? Let's just see here. We'll go back into our theory here. Now, with this, we know there's the emotional appeal, okay? We could talk about this, and the neat thing is in chapter four we share everything. All three chapters before and the chapters after all come together in chapter four. But the things that the techniques that used by the media, emotional appeal. You ever see the dog commercials for SPCA? That's an emotional appeal. Name calling. Oh, the libtards, MAGA Republicans, um, whatever you want to call them, right wing MAGAs, bandwagon, joining on the band. Let's all get vaccinated. Let's help you. Hey, I'm getting vaccinated. You get vaccinated. Loaded language. Example, there's no evidence of any widespread voter fraud. That's loaded language. False dilemma. We've got a worldwide pandemic. People are dying. Testimonials. Do you remember this one with 51 retired intelligence officers testifying that what they said was Russian collusion when that was just a big fat lie? Fear mongering. Put masks on. They're going to save your life. Cherry picking. Not giving you all the information. I'm going to share with you the next chapter four how they purposely head back life-saving information from the American public. We also have distraction, which you see all the time, and deception technique. Okay, these are the things we see with the media. Example: weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. There were none. Separation of church and state. You hear that all the time on the news and in the politics. It's nowhere to be found in our Constitution. Russian collusion. We had 51 people. Sorry, they were wrong. The COVID vaccine is safe and effective. As a matter of fact, the COVID vaccine is by far the deadliest and least effective vaccine ever created, by far. And again, I'll get to that in a later chapter. And it's not even a real vaccine. Here's another one that mess with people's minds. Three wise men came to visit Jesus. That's nowhere to be found in the Bible. It doesn't give you the number of wise men who came. Christmas Day is not December 25th. I have never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. Yeah, he did. Okay. Another one we could also mention is I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. Yeah, you did. Okay. It happens all the time. So let's continue on to chapter three, government secrets and lies. It also coincides with the media that we just have. There's different parts of this. There's conspiracy theories or facts. There's corruption and power, whistleblowers, cover ups and suspension, and the deep state. And we're going to talk a little bit about all of those things. So let's just take a look at, before we go to some websites, just look at a couple things here. You can Google DAA coaching and Princeton study, and you'll come up with this site. And the other thing I want you to Google is a YouTube video with President Bush and President Reagan when they were debating for the Republican nominee for president. And this was happening 40 years ago. So I want you to check out those things. But before we do that, let's go check out a quick video here. All right, election fraud. They say it's not widespread, but there is little facts of it. They use different words about this. Here's this site I was telling you about, corruption in our government. You can find this. It's legal in America. Corruption is legal. It tells you a lot about information. Check it out. And here's the Princeton study we was talking about, where theoretically in a democracy or a republic, basically this is what the people want. If the people should make all their decisions and we should listen to the people. An oligarchy is where they listen to the rich people. And right now, this is the influence in the current U.S. system. We have wealthy top 10%, followed by business groups and interest groups, and the people are the last to be listened to. Now let's hope this little video will work out here. I'm going to see if I could rewind it here and play this video for you.
Think that their parents should pay for their education.
Who are you addressing that to?
I think you're first in this.
He was looking right at you. I said he was. Look, I'd like to see something done about the illegal alien problem that would be so sensitive and so understanding about labor needs and human needs that that problem wouldn't come up. But today, if those people are here, I would reluctant.
Now there's George Bush, former President Bush. Now here's Reagan.
Has come that the United States and our neighbors, particularly our neighbor to the south, should have a better understanding and a better relationship than we've ever had. And I think that we haven't been sensitive enough to our size and our power. They have a problem of 40 to 50% unemployment. Now, this cannot continue without the possibility arising with regard to that other country that
I'm not going to go through this whole thing, but the fact still remains. This was 40 years ago. Two Republicans talking about how we need to have an open border policy with immigrants coming back and forth. 40 years, and we still haven't solved that problem. Yet we keep electing the exact same people who haven't been able to solve this problem in 40 years. Folks, we need to wake up. It's time for a change. Electing the same people over and over again and expecting a different result is not going to solve the problem. Here again, the Iraqi and weapons of mass destruction. And one thing I want you to understand is when things are shown to you over and over again, the government says it over again, the media says what the government tells you to say, or the media tells the government what to say, and the rich people tell everybody what to do. You hear something repeated over and over again, you think it's true. I mean, three wise men, we sing songs about it. Everybody believes that three wise men came to visit Jesus Christ. Okay? Everybody believes that there's separation of church and state. It's from our Constitution. No, it doesn't say that in our Constitution. Okay? Things that we're going to say again with our corruption in our government. There's a thing called Divorce Corp. You just Google divorcecorp.com or just go to divorce.com. This is a documentary. You should check it out. It might cost you $5, but it shows you the corruption in the family courts. It is disgustingly how bad it is and how much money goes through the family courts. It's a $50 billion industry and growing every year. More money flows through the family courts and into the hands of the courthouse insiders than in all other court systems in America combined. And they're killing children. I spent 42 days in jail because I saw this, and they're destroying the country. And something else you might want to check out here. This Climate, the movie, check that out because they're not telling you the truth about climate. This is fear mongering. They're getting you and to think about other things besides what's going on. They keep doing all this stuff, wars, fund this, we got to help this, Palestine, this, transgender, this. But the fact is, we're going into debt and we're losing our country, which is the biggest issue right now. We've got to cut things and start paying back our debt before we can do anything else. Okay? There's a lot more that's going on. All right, let's continue on with this. Again, we saw that video with immigration. Want you to check it out. Here's a quick thing, a few quick things that our government has lied to us about over the years. Operation Mockingbirds, the Iraq War and weapons of mass destruction, the FBI's counterintelligence program during Vietnam, the Iran-Contra affair, okay, the Gulf of Tonkin incidents, the Pentagon Papers, the Afghanistan campaign. Do you understand? We spent a full, we were there for over a generation training their military, and they fell apart within 3 days. I mean, how horrible. I mean, for 20 years, we couldn't get trained to someone that could last more than 3 days. Global mass surveillance. This has happened also. The best thing about this was, and we hear this saying over and over again during the Obama administration, there was no scandals, no scandals. Well, yeah, there was. It was called mass surveillance. So now in our next chapter, it's going to be chapter 4, covert misinformation. Now, this is my buddy's vehicle. We used to go around and we would give supplies to every open business in our community, and they would have the best, top of the line disinfectants to kill COVID. That white box you see is a sticky mat where everybody walking into the business would disinfect their shoes. We sold masks, we sold hand sanitizers, special soap used by surgeons that would keep your hands clean and disease and virus free for up to 12 hours so you wouldn't spread this. We did everything because we really took this serious. Okay, that's all in this next chapter. Thanks for listening so far, and let's continue on with chapter 4.